Hey guys, Toby Morrison here, and on the other end, I'm stoked because it's been a long time coming for this man. We've been talking about doing this for ages, and yeah, it's a privilege to introduce this man, Jamie Hooke. Hey James,
Hey,
how are you,
how's
brother?
everyone? I'm well. I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well. This is awesome because you have a really unique story. And obviously, yeah, you're a male, but your story is so relatable to so many people, not just the males, but the females as well. Because whilst you've got your own individual circumstances, this story is so relatable to everybody because you've had so many peaks and troughs and ups and downs and wins and losses. But there's one thing that sticks to my mind about you, and that's determination.
Yeah,
and,
got it.
and pretty much not giving up. So I'm stoked to have you on here, and everyone else will be too, to hear your story. I just before we started this, you were just telling me how you're working 40 hours a week. And you've just travelled back from Brisbane in a friggin' car, which is like, I think it's about 25-hour drive, maybe.
I think it was about probably with stops. Yeah, it's about
Yeah,
20 of actual driving. Yeah,
you
yeah, we
know,
did that over 2 days.
yeah,
But yeah, it was good. I think the
that's
biggest thing for
crazy.
that was I actually got on a plane. Really bad with flying, so that was probably the biggest win for me for the weekend. Um,
You jumped on a plane.
yeah, I'm terrible with flying because
Are
I
you?
like to be in control, but obviously I can't fly a plane, so it was a bit difficult. The pilot said, "Don't worry, I'll take over from here," and I said, "Okay, no worries."
And
That's
how
how that
was it?
played out. It was good. Yeah, it was pretty good. I got like where the wing is, and then there's like the exit. So I've got the lady as I'm boarding said, "Oh, if anything happens, could you help some people?" And I'm thinking, "Shit, if you're relying on me, but all right, sure." So I just said yes, thinking, it's up to the pilot. Just hope something doesn't happen because I'll probably have a heart attack. So
Was this your first? Was this your first flight ever?
no, no, that's the saddest part. No, I'm just not good with them. Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. Well, I mean, it's a good kind of what's the word? Metaphor for you improving. And that was like almost one of your steps or initiations of going, yeah, regardless of the stress that this has caused me, I can do it.
Yeah, I just figured, well, when you got a weakness, you just sort of go. Well, sometimes the most direct way is rip the band-aid off. Just go. Like it's just you're gonna have to at some point. I always talk. I want to see the Lakers. I can't see me hopping on a ship for 8 weeks to get there. So you have to get over it.
You've got to, yeah, in order to go see the Lakers play, you've got to go fly to America. It's like I think
Yeah, so that's it. So it's
it's,
baby steps.
no, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Um, Now let's bring it back to when it all started for you, bro, because I want to talk a little bit about your journey along the way and what you've learnt and how all the lessons that you've learned, and you can share that with all our followers and all the people listening because I'm sure you've got a lot to offer there, and you're kind of in the making to go on your journey to help other people too. But tell me where it all started with you. Like, what happened? How did we come to this situation of fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue? Because you kind of had both, yeah.
yeah. I got both. So before even meeting you, sort of start.
Yeah, like
So the very beginnings.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was in year 12 in 2009. We shouldn't forget that. I got glandular fever, and I just thought that was a cold. So I just thought you can keep doing all your stuff, do your schoolwork, do all your sports. That's all good. And I think it sort of flared up from there. It just sort of got worse. I used to do martial arts pretty seriously. Um, and I remember we did a grading that I'd worked all year for. And I did pretty humble. I was happy with how I was going. I was pretty content with how I was going in terms of our dojo, where I at my standing. I felt I was on a good path. And I had a really good grading, which is kind of like how I viewed it as a grand final. And then I spent all summer going, cool, you're near the top of the mountain, stay there, because whenever someone else is coming to climb it, kick them off, sort of. You got here, now stay here. And I worked all summer at gym and running, and I got back to karate, I think in like January, like late Jan. We did sparring, and I got my ass handed to me like pretty comfortably. I was just so tired, and I sort of said, yeah, it's okay, I could keep going. And my mate I was sparring with said, no, I don't feel comfortable with this. So I talked to the sensei. He said, it's probably just the flu or something, just take a week off. So I said, yeah, he's probably right. In my head, I'm thinking, oh no, like all the hard work you put over summer's going, you're supposed to be fitter than them. They've all leaked you. And I came back the next week, and we did the warm-ups, and I was like dripping with sweat. I was so tired. I was shaking. My legs felt like a run a marathon. I was just dead. And I was thinking, what the hell's going on here? And it sort of was, without like making it a long story, it was for the next few months was me holding on, going, don't let all the hard work slip away. But all the hard work was sort of going, sorry, the laptop's heating up. All the hard work was sort of being taken away from me. And it was just like this, like an anxiety thing, like, oh, worked so hard for that. It's like someone slowly stealing all your possessions, but you're watching them case the house, and then you're watching them leave item at a time, which is probably hurts more. If it was all taken at once, like it's all my stuff. But when it's taken slowly, it's like you're trying to reach for it as it's leaving.
And you can see it. It's not like wasn't like a robbery where you weren't there. It's a feeling of like, this is all the shit that I have.
The audacity of the burglary to just wait while you're in the house and do it. And that's kind of what it was. So
it's like you're sitting on the sofa. Literally, the robbers come in and you physically can't move, and they're just going, "Yeah, I'll take that," and stripping you of everything.
Watching the TV as it's being taken out of the room. Yeah, that's exactly
man. Yeah, that's a good metaphor.
Everyone listening to this. Yeah, and I'm sure everyone listening to this gets that. That's probably I'm really bad with I get really shy, but it's good talking to these sort of like with this group, because most of the stuff you say, it's like, yeah, they'll get it. They know how that feels. So,
oh man, I think that kind of describes chronic fatigue syndrome, especially when you're diagnosed or just getting started, with that kind of process of what the hell's wrong with me. Is like, you build your life up over however many years, 20 years for some people, 16 or 17 or 18 for someone like yourself, and then all of a sudden it's just like, bang, there goes the carpet from underneath your feet. And then it's just like, who the hell am I now? What do I do?
Yeah, it's pretty daunting. I don't think even people say at certain ages it means I don't give a. Sorry, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear, man.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what age you are. When everything you've worked for, whether it be 5 years or 50 years worth of work, gets taken from you, it doesn't matter how long it took you. That's your pride and joy. That's your life work to that point. So it means just as much to a 15-year-old that's worked from the age of 10 at a sport to have it all ripped under their feet as it would to a 70-year-old person who's got 50 years experience just ripped. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's the importance of it to that person. So when people say like, oh, so-and-so's had it this long, so-and-so, I don't care. They've all suffered the same thing.
Good point.
They've all lost something they worked hard for. So
what was it like for you, like in that time when it felt like, you were like, literally everything was going past your eyes before, your karate, kind of your school, your health, like emotionally, what?
Rush.
Panic?
Yeah, like a panicked rush, like, because you're trying to find true north. What's happening? I don't even know what the hell's happening. Like, I don't know what's taking everything from me. I just know what's happening. I don't know what's causing it. I've got to get my bearings, sort of find out what's happening, and then I've got to start taking my stuff back. But sometimes it overlaps, and you think, I've got to get my stuff back before you actually think, what the hell's taking it? So there's no point taking stuff back and then going, I don't know what's taking it, and then it goes again. So that took me a long time to get, because I just kept going, no, just power through it. I was like, no, find the cause. But that's just maturity. You sort of.
So yeah, you were just kind of going through that push and crash cycle of like chasing your tail, kind of trying to become who you once were, and yeah, kind of not building on the new, but just like.
Yeah, like when I explain, because it's really easy to explain, like to you, like you've been like a mentor, and so is Raya. You guys get it, and when I talk to other people in our group, get it because they have it. But when I talk to like there's people at work, and I'll tell them like they tell me like, "What's your story?" And I'll say, "I've had chronic fatigue." And I say, "What's that?" And I said, "Imagine you're playing chess with a person, and at first you're thinking the way to win at chess is to move the pieces on the board as fast as you can, get him off guard. Little do you know, chess is a game where it's one move each. So as you sort of go through having chronic fatigue, you get better at playing chess. And as you go, everyone thinks like, oh, the longer I've had chronic fatigue, it's like, oh, a setback, oh, a setback, oh, a setback. It makes me weaker. No, it doesn't. It just adds to your bag of tricks. Like, my body aches after I do this. But if I have this type of food, or I have this drink, or I do this stretch, and you sort of resort back to it, it's like, cool, I've got this bag of tricks now. And before you know it, it's like, not every time, but I know this feeling. Yeah, this sucks, it's a setback, but also know how to overcome it. So you get better at playing chess.
Yeah. Now I've got to interrupt there because there's a lot of people who are watching this or thinking, yeah, but that doesn't happen to me and that's impossible, because there's a lot of people who haven't gone in and invested their time and energy into a program like ours, and in terms of getting help and getting practical help and wanting to just improve. And there's a lot of people out there who say, they're stuck, and that whilst they want to get better, they're scared of getting better. They're fearful of, having to take on life's challenges again. And there's a whole range of things that come with that. But, you're a pretty driven guy, and you certainly didn't, you didn't lack motivation, but what you maybe lacked was that, how do I practically help myself? And that's why you came to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But give people an idea of where you were at, dude, because I have a photo of you I have a photo of you in my phone. I have a photo of you in my phone doing a wall push-up, and you've come a long, long way. Like, people probably don't realize it's hard to paint a picture, but let's paint a picture for people where you're at when you're at your worst.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It was, I think, November of 2013, I started your program, which was probably a year and a half after I'd got chronic fatigue. Like, I probably had it sooner than that, but when I found out something's kicking the crap out of me, I wasn't able to come into the clinic at all because I really wasn't able to leave the house much. I think I got through like the first week or two of your program, and then I had this massive crash. I messaged you, and I'm like, because I was treating it like a uni course. I'm like, do I have to start again? Like, because I've crashed. And then you sort of helped coach me through it. And I think it was like early the next year, so early 2014, because I had a horrible new year for 2013 in terms of emotion. Not like it was horrific, this horrible thing happened. It was just like, that was the first time where I don't want to be awake because all my mates are having fun. And I think I was 22. Yeah, I was 22. All my mates are having fun and they're all drinking and stuff like that. I'm not saying you have to drink to have fun, but I think my nan's probably fitter than me at this point. I should probably bench press more than me at that point. Like, when you were at your worst, yeah. Mm. Yeah, and then
you feel like you're in an 80-year-old body, right?
Yeah, that's it. You feel trapped. It's like claustrophobic. Like, you've got all this energy, all this drive, all this. I've got big plans and big ideas, and I've got this vessel that's just not carrying me. What do I do? The ship's got a hole in it. What do I do? I want to get across the ocean, though. So the drive never leaves, I don't think. I think everyone who's had chronic fatigue, they have to have a drive, because they had a drive enough to get themselves unwell by overachieving. I'd imagine it's still there. You just got to find it. What makes you tick? So what keeps you going? And if you find that, that's great. But I remember, I think it was early 2014, I messaged you, or called you, I can't remember. I think I messaged you because I hadn't spoke to you yet. I was like starstruck because I was watching all your modules. I messaged you and I said, yeah, Toby, I'm going in circles. I don't think I'm getting any better. What the hell is happening? Because I was super in touch with like the way you run your program at that point. Now I understand what that is. And you said, do you reckon you can come into the clinic? And I said, yeah. So I had to get my mum to drive me, and I got there. And I think the first session we ever had was pretty much a counselling session. It was great because it was like, I think I saw 7 doctors I counted that were, yep, you're depressed, that's why you're tired. And I'm like, no, I'm tired and that's making me depressed. There's a difference. There's a different order of events here. And,
Totally.
but I met you and it was like, no, he gets it. He's had it. Cool. Like, because doubt will creep in after you see a few medical professionals that say it's in your head. You start to think, shit, like a lot of people are saying that. Maybe they're right. They weren't, but maybe they were at the time. Yeah. Yeah, and then I came into the clinic and had that good talk. I remember I said to you, because you asked me, what's like just an outlandish goal? What's like a big time goal? And I said, I want to be as fit as an AFL footballer. And you're like,
That's
cool,
right.
I'm going to hold you to that. And I thought, shit, he's going to hold me to it. I actually have to do it now, which is cool.
Accountability.
Probably at the start. Yeah, that's what we started with, yeah. Because like everything, my back was so bent in the mornings, everything ached.
Oh, you were in a bad way, but I want to say one thing. Like, you lived in Melbourne, and so for anyone who didn't know, we actually our main source of help was in a clinic in Melbourne called CFS Health Centre, and I ran it personally for 5 years. And then Raya, another one of our CFS Health coaches, joined me there, and then she started helping patients too. And then we started the online program because people were traveling from all around Australia and they either couldn't come in or they physically weren't able to. Now, anyone who lives in Melbourne would normally come straight to the clinic. But I remember calling Jamie, and Jamie was so unwell that he couldn't even get there because it was just too much of an effort for him to drive there with his mum and come and stay, just for an hour. And so he had to literally start on the online program first. And so there was a very few select people who did that who lived in Melbourne, because mostly they would just come straight to the clinic and get help face to face. So now our online program is much more predominant. It's in 42 countries and it's the first source of help. But back then it was a huge deal for Jamie to start that. Like, that's how low he was in terms of his energy, because he literally couldn't step out the door and get there in the first place. It was just too much of an effort and too much of a task. So that puts things into perspective. What were some of the symptoms that you were experiencing back then, like main symptoms? Because obviously you were diagnosed with fibro and CFS.
My legs. That's all I think about. Whoever says back then, it's just, there were days where they just it's like a switch. They're not working. That's it. There's no juice in them, and you just sort of fall. I used to always, my mum would come up to help me. I wouldn't yell at her. Like, no. Like, I've got to get up by myself. I have to. Like, it's just like a pride thing. I just got to. And she was great. Mum was like, I wouldn't have got through it without mum. Like, there's just no way. She was at every appointment. Every time I fell on the floor, she'd just sit there. We'd have a talk. Like, knowing that, it's crushed me. Like I've fallen on the floor and I can't get up. But she'd just talk. Not like it's a stressful thing. Like, come on, you got to get up. Just like, let's just talk. And she'd keep me calm, because I'm one for stress. Like, my legs aren't working. Great. I'm going to be in a wheelchair forever. What's happening? Just be stressed. It's all cool. And then I'd get up and I'd be like, okay, it should help me just walk to my bed, and that'd be that. So, yeah, when you say what's, so I went off a tangent about my mum. When you say what's the worst, I just love her. I'd say legs, because your legs, everything aches. Like, you can almost, individual joints go, yep, that's the bone that's aching, all the way up, and then your hips, and that would hurt your back, and then so your legs, because you just can't walk, and when you do, you feel stiff. I had ulcers all the time, like in my mouth, just all the time. Like, if I went for a walk for a minute back then, that was too much, and it was just like that was a source of being run down.
Wow.
My eyes, I was really sensitive to light for a long time. I don't know if that's because I spent so long in the dark room, but I thought I'd just mention it.
What else?
My legs are the worst.
Did you get swollen glands and brain fog?
Yeah. Oh God, I got brain fog. Sorry. Yeah, I got heaps of brain fog. I used to forget everything. Yeah, I got the swollen glands, then the ulcers as well. Like, everything was just, you have to have a cup of tea all the time, which is a good thing. I like cup of tea. Your
immune system was like obviously just struggling.
Just shot, yeah. Legs would be the worst, but I got brain fog. I think I rewatched so many of the modules in your online thing, because I couldn't remember if I watched it before, so that happened a lot.
And didn't you? I remember when you started, like, you know, like you were at that point where it was just like, man, I've tried everything. I think you were trying acupuncture. You know, you're obviously seeing all these different doctors, and like,
I saw a naturopath at one point. I think it was before I came into your clinic, and she's gone. And I'm about to study naturopathy, so I'm not having to go anyone that's a naturopath out there or wants to be. Like, I'm all for it. I want to do it myself. And she said, what you need to do is you need to take your shoes and socks off and let the earth heal you. This was in summer in Australia, which is, you know, like 35 degrees. It's like the norm at that time. And I'm thinking, because every doctor's told me it's in your head. I'm thinking, shit, I'll try anything. So Mum took me to a garden. I think it was our garden. I couldn't go very far. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure we went to like a garden bed. I think it was our backyard. I took my shoes and socks off and stood in the dirt. And like, Mum's like, yeah, that's what she said to do. I think like I could tell Mum's doubting it. And then I put my shoes and socks back on afterwards, and I got a cold. In summer.
You're kidding me.
To heal me.
Oh, no.
35-degree heat, and I've got a cold because I took my shoes and socks off. Because I was wearing a hoodie and everything, like in summer. It was a frail, cold shell of what I thought I was.
You were. Like, you had no energy. Your immune system was obviously so low that you were getting, you know, ulcers, and the fact that you got a friggin' cold in the middle of summer, that is just bad luck. Oh my God. You poor guy.
Unique, but I thought this is stress. Yeah, like it's unique, but stretching it. But yeah, so, but I was at that point. I remember I'd say to Mum, like, all the time, I'll do anything they ask. I was like, I said to you or Mum, I couldn't remember, I'll eat mushrooms if I have to. And I hate mushrooms. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
So I think when you get to that point, and I'm not saying like I'm the measuring stick, at that point that, you know, Jamie Hooke is like, no, like your point, you'll know what your point is. You'll get to that point and it's, I'm going to beat this thing. Yeah. I don't care how long it takes, you know, and you can build a wall of doubt. I don't care. Either way, it's going to end up behind me. Either it's rubble or I've climbed it. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it the way that's supposed to be done. So once you get to that point, I think even before you've taken the first step, once your mindset's just in that point, it's just like absolute confidence. I'm going to beat this thing. I'm ready to. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are at that point, and they're taking the steps, and you can see it. And it's like I put a post on the inner circle a few weeks ago. We've had a rough few months, like emotionally, not like physically. Like every time you see a win, it's like, fuck yes, like you get pumped for it. You want to see, because you see for 3-4 years these people, you know, with their setback, their waves of like coming back and forth with this thing, and then when you see them have a major win, you're like, yes, that's one of my team members. It's like a big community, and you want to see everyone beat it. So there's a lot of people at that point. I think there's a few people that I've spoken to in the past. I don't know if they're there, that weren't at that point. And you can sort of just tell. You can't just say you got to get to that point. It's got to happen naturally, and it will.
Totally. I feel like it's like the pain point. It's like how I describe it is like there's a pain and pleasure point, and there's pleasure and there's comfort, and it's like, okay, well, it's not that bad, so I'm not going to do anything about it. And then there's this pain point where it's just so fucking, you know, insurmountable. You just can't handle it anymore. And until the scale tips to the pain point, that's when you go, I've had enough. But until that point, it's just like inaction is just like indecision. Is, it's not that bad. Oh yeah, I really want it, but it's not that painful, so I don't really need to get off my butt today and do anything. And this is not to, not to downplay. You know, it's not about getting up off your butt and doing stuff, but it's about making a decision and taking an action and being practical to go and do what you need to do in order to improve your health and life, you know, just like you've done, Jamie, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Not the last, like, not being arrogant. I mean, the start, like the pain point. When it's taking things from your life that you enjoy, you get angry. Like, no, I deserve better than this, and I'm going to go get it. So, like I had to stop like studying, and I had to stop karate, like martial arts. Like that's okay. That's not acceptable in my book. I've got to fix this. It's things you love. So
you have to stop the things that you love in order to do the things that you have to do in order to get back to do the things you love, right? Like, Now, I just want to say one thing though. Yeah, of course, you had confidence and you knew you were going to recover. It wasn't an option. Nothing outside of that was an option. But like you would have had some freaking hard times throughout that. I know for sure that I saw you go through them. So because I think there's a lot of people out there that just think like recovery is this like straight like, oh yeah, like as soon as I believe in myself and I fix all my limiting beliefs and I start to do all the I'm eating better, I'm moving better, I think it's just going to be straight. And then they feel like, the people who do recover are like superhuman, but that's not true. Like, it's just not true. Everyone has these ups and downs and it's not linear. But, what did you do in those times of struggle? Obviously you had your mum for support, but what else did you do?
Yeah, she was huge. I used to talk to, because Raya, I see Raya weekly. I used to tell Raya like on the days where, and she taught a lot of yoga, so that was great because there's times where it's like, I'm not ready to do the workout that's supposed to do, but the yoga I could probably do. And then there's other times you couldn't do any of it. If there's a massive dip, just train your mind. I think if you can't train your body, you train your mind. So it's still progress. So I just figured, all right, you're down and out. Cool. What you need to do is rest. But what you can also do is just train your mind. I looked at like, sort of like self-empowerment sort of things. Like you read that and you think, and then you read things about how you envision like you winning, so I remember you said one of your videos, and you said you used to imagine when you were in bed, like you were ripped and you're on the beach and you're this, super fit guy. And it's just like, you envision that while you were down and out and in bed. And it's just like, if you envision those things, you'll get there. So when I was down, and I know it can be tough sometimes, sometimes like you have a dip and the pain hurts that much. You're like, I think I'm actually worse than when I started this. I'm ready to beat this journey. And you're like, shit, have I actually gone backwards? Like if anyone out there is thinking, it's not like I'm the only one having those massive dips. My God, sometimes I thought it was a crater. It's like, shit, I've fallen through. But then I think maybe it's a volcano and it's going to erupt and I'm going to skyrocket. So I just like to think that no matter how much it dips, you can't lose at anything as long as you don't quit. Because you decide when the game ends. It's not like, cool, there's 48 minutes to win this game. Well, you run out of time. It's like, no, you don't have all the time in the world. Just beat it.
Yeah.
Take your time if you have to. But if you have a massive dip, just read a book, just sleep. Sometimes sleeping is, I used to think, oh God, I'm wasting time. I should be working. I should be like climbing. And you and Ray are like, hey, 6 hours isn't enough. Sleep. And that's what happens. So I try to, instead of thinking, what could I do if I wasn't having this dip? Just look for the things you can do at that moment. And if literally the only thing is sleep and drink tea, do that.
Cool.
Tomorrow will be better.
Good point. Yeah, pretty much just like don't panic. And if you do panic, then get out of that panic, as soon as possible. And just, if you have a few bad days, I think the idea of recovery is like, okay, there's an end point. And this is what I want to talk to you about tonight, actually, because like, it's so good to be able to have you on the phone, but we've kept in touch like over the last couple of years as you've progressed and you've started dating again, you started working again, you started going to the gym.
A couple of weeks ago, I asked you about something that had nothing to do with health.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that. And like, that's the thing. Like, it's cool, but it's important to talk about because I feel like, and after this, let's get back to like some of the things that you did to improve yourself because, like, I think a lot of people think there's some magical stuff that like people are hiding, not telling about, and then you've got to do the magical things to get better. But I think
water.
Yeah, but you made some amazing improvements, and not just emotionally, but mainly physically. Like I saw your body progress over a period of time, and it was incredible. But you still rocked up. You still came there when you didn't want to. You still came when you were in the shit. You still rocked up. You still were committed regardless of the shit. And I think it's just like, if there's anything we could talk about tonight, like that's probably the most important thing is the commitment to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, we should talk about that.
I never saw you complain once. Like honestly, like I never saw you complain once. Of course, you had shit times, but you were never like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, because if I went into you and Bray, it's like, shit, this hurts. It's like, dude, yeah, we get that. So So what's happening? What am I going to do about it? Because if you think, I just think like the human mind is a beautiful thing. Why waste it on thinking about why me and just thinking, cool, let's fix it, because that could be a better use of my time. So if I'd be pretty, I got to a point, it took me ages. I used to get really, really bad when people would say it's in your head, or you go to family things. So you're just really tired. It's like, yeah, I won't say names. I just need a good nap. That's all. I just haven't slept well for 5 years. That's why I used to get really funny about it.
Mm.
But then I learned that I could not give a bad word what anyone thinks about how long it's taken me or if I'm going to get there. I know I'm going to get there. I don't know how long it's going to take me. And I'd have a pretty low opinion of myself if I only rocked up when my body felt good. Because the most improvement comes when the body feels bad. Because that's when you learn, like I was saying, that bag of tricks. You get your bag of tricks when you feel bad. Because you're not going to, if everything's going by, you're having a great day, like, why would you go through the bag of tricks? You don't need to.
True. Hey, like I just want to quickly touch this because you had the commitment, but sometimes that commitment was like overcommitment, and you like used to beat yourself up a lot. I remember you used to reach out a bit. There was a period of time where I was talking with you a bit. It was probably, I don't know, a few years ago now, and I just remember you were like being so hard on yourself. Like you were just like, if you weren't like, there was a bit of a challenging time for you there because you were so focused on recovery and it was awesome, but it was almost like it was detrimental because you were just like punishing yourself in a way. Like it was just like, if I don't do this, I should be doing that. And it was like, I don't know, the word maybe overcommitted or like competitive within yourself. It was like, it was like a competition, and it kind of, you had a few setbacks along the way when you were going through that period of your life because you were just so maybe driven from a place of lack and maybe that like that chasing of like, oh my god, like I'm so close, but I've got to get it now. Like I don't want it to slow down, kind of thing. What was that like?
Yeah. It's like I can see. It's like this is a weird analogy. I'm full of weird analogies. Like not good ones, just weird. It's like I'm looking at a window, but it's also a mirror. It's like I can see what Toby and Ray are saying, absolutely. But I can also see me. I know that I'm not where I want to be. And it's like you've got to sort of block that out and go, it's okay, just let's, because I used to think like, cool, if you've done something well, that's fantastic, but improvement comes from focusing on what you've done not so great. And then sometimes it's like, yeah, but sometimes healing comes from celebrating a win. So that's probably the biggest thing you and Ray taught me. So I remember with Ray, a lot of the time I'd say like, not like aggressively or anything, but I'm like, oh, do you think I can't do it? Like, it's almost like I was creating doubt because that would like drive me. And she's like, no, like I know you can do it. Like just
yeah. You were like you were going from a different angle of like.
It's not a good. I'm not saying like you should do this and that's what helped me because it's got to honest what didn't help me. What you need to do is listen to YouTube. Really, like you said, just like you did this. This is excellent. It's like cool, but I want to do this. Like just forget that for today. Just focus on what you did. Like, I don't know. I just sort of. I still have that fault.
Of course.
Nowhere near as bad.
No.
But that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. Like 3 years ago, I was really bad with it, but now it's like, shit. Every now and then it pops up.
Yeah, and that's that competitiveness in your mind that you were kind of, you had it as a teenager, obviously, and it was probably one of the things that got you into the shit in the first place. But the fact that you come out of it the other end and you realize, you can be more aware of it now. And I think the coaching and the commitment and everything you've got over the period of time, it's just like, and the pondering, it's just like, oh, there it is again. Like, sometimes it's good, but most of the time, especially when it comes to maybe health and equilibrium and well-being, it's not the most ideal kind of place to be. Yeah.
No, exactly right. Yeah.
So because there's a lot of perfectionists who are going to be watching this interview, and like what's one of your tips to deal with that when they, you start to like beat yourself up because it wasn't perfect, or you start to get pissed at yourself. Like, what's one thing that helps you break that cycle?
I don't know if it helped other people. Like, hopefully it does. That'd be great. I always thought, oh, cool, it's something else to sort of like it'd be pretty boring if everything was going smoothly, because then there's nothing to work on. So it's like, don't try hard. Don't like go, oh my God, you haven't done this right. Just go, cool, that's something, that of note that I can work on, but I'll work on that in due time, and also allocate a fair amount of time to celebrating what I did do well today. And that was, Ray actually gave me that as a goal. I was used to getting like, your exercises, how'd you go with your exercises? And she gave me that as a goal one week. It was really cool. At the start, I thought it was like that's weird. Like, what exercises do you want me to do? But the next week when I saw her, I thought, like, I get it. There's a method to her madness. I get it.
I totally see that. It's like, yeah, nice. I like it. I think it's like, yeah, it's like shifting your focus to going, I haven't done enough, or I should have done more, or I didn't do this big enough, and then it's like, okay, well, what did I do today? And like, you literally just write it in a journal and like have a box next to it and tick it off.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, it really was. At the start, I thought, this is weird, but I was still at that point. Whatever they say, I'll eat mushrooms if I have to. Like, whatever you two said was like, I'm going to do it because I want to. She beat it. She must know what's up. So I just, you got to have, I'm not like trying to sell it, but trust people who have beaten it. Don't trust them that if one footstep on your journey is different to theirs and you go, oh my God, they lied. No, it's a unique path. But it's the same end goal and it's a relatively similar journey. There's just different footprints every now and then. Like if you lined up, and I know lots of people, but to name some of the people in the group, if you lined up Kat, me, Penny, Zarina, yourself, Raya, and went, cool, how's your journey gone? It's completely different, but it's all going towards the same goal. And like, you and Ray have absolutely reached that goal indifferently. So I think a lot of people, and not like I'm having a shot at them, because geez, I was the same. Like, come talk to me. I'll tell you, I was exactly the same. You don't have to follow every footstep that people with beat it have. And it took me a while. I'm like, oh, but Toby did this different. I heard when Toby had it, he did this different. Yeah, but you're Jamie. Like, follow the guidance, but do you.
Do Jamie's way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, do Jamie's way. So, exactly.
Like, there's a wealth of knowledge in the group. Like Jesus, like there's just a wealth of knowledge in that group. Like yourself, Raya, but there's a lot of others in there that are very switched on with it. Don't not say use them. That's a horrible term. It's like a family. Talk. Get advice.
Nice. Reach out to people when you're kind of stuck. Exactly.
Oh, geez, they're not judging. They're not like, oh, well, that was me 2 years ago. It's like, Jesus, they want you to win.
Yeah. Now, well, obviously, yeah. For people who are not familiar, Jamie's talking about the Inner Circle, which is, we have an Inner Circle group, which is part of our program where all members can connect with each other from around the world, 42 countries, 900 plus members, and it's a pretty special place but there's a lot of people, James, who's like, there's a lot of people who literally don't have the support. They're thinking, oh yeah, but my family doesn't understand. And like, most people, their friendship groups, they wouldn't understand too. And I know you had a huge problem with friends, and you had, it was almost like a exile of friendships that were just cut, right?
Yeah, I was hoping, I was itching to talk about this, but it's really important. I think the relationships you had prior are extremely important to your recovery. I'm just going to say I had to stop talking to some people because it was detrimental. And that sounds horrible, but sometimes you just got to put your health first. And then there's people who will come, when you start making a recovery, keep your wits about it. Some people will come back into your life all of a sudden. And then there's some very few, just weary of, that will not want to see you succeed. So they'll be there through all of it. But once you start showing signs, they'll try to bring you down a little bit. I'm not saying like there's lots of negatives out there. I'm just saying, just don't let it all. This is a fortress. It's going to help you beat it. Don't let the walls get torn down so people can come in and throw shade at it. Just be careful who you let in and out. That's my biggest tip.
Yeah, cool. I think that's a good point. And I also think that, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to lose friends. Like, it's a reality. It's just like you've got to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, imagine not having ever chronic fatigue syndrome. You just didn't know anything about it. You've never had chronic pain before. You don't know anything about it, and your friend's got it, but you can't feel any of the pain. So, from the CFS sufferer's point of view, you just have to put yourself in someone else's shoes on the outside and go, well, how can they understand my situation anyway? Like, it's frigging impossible. If I never had CFS, I wouldn't know how it feels. So it's important, but you will. You'll hopefully have one or two friends who will stick by you, and you'll have at least one family member who can stick by you. Oh, what did you say, Jane?
Sorry, you'll notice that some friends will be like this bond strengthens because of what you went through, and they've been there that whole time.
Totally. Yeah. Just cool.
Positive.
I like it, man. Okay, I mean, this is a deep discussion, and I knew it was going to happen with you, but normally we don't. No. We could probably
answer the questions. I was just sort of, saying what sort of came to mind at the time. I'm a really shy person. I just want to throw that out there. Like, this is not my comfort zone. But, yeah.
So, where are you now? Like, what are you doing now? Tell me, like, it's been a couple of years. Like, what are you doing day to day? Explain to people where you're at, just for a little bit of inspiration for tonight.
Okay, so I work in the city in an office, and I work over 40 hours most weeks. And sometimes that's 6 days a week. I still work out. I sort of have to. But I've learned over time now that some days, so we're either extremely lightweights or literally just go for a walk. It's all still movement, it's all still exercise, and it's all still helping you get somewhere. You don't have to kill it every day. So that sort of helps. Institute in Feb, it's a health science. So I want to do some sort of probably audio files, not all those
Hey, Jimmy, you there?
Yeah.
It's kind of cracking up a little bit. Hopefully you can get it back working.
Now?
Yeah, that's better.
Cool.
Cool. So I think you were talking about, you work 40 hours a week, 5 to 6 days a week. You're still training, like, exercise wise. Obviously you're still socializing, doing all that kind of stuff. You just flew to Brisbane to watch a concert and then drive back 20 hours with your friend. Like, did you ever think that was possible?
Oh, geez, that's like like, not specific. I'm going to get my life back. Those days where I had doubts, but it probably would have been hard pressed to convince me 3 years ago when I was stuck in bed all day that in 3 years' time I'll be doing all that. But I think my improvement sort of went a bit further or a bit faster or a bit more efficient was when I stopped putting time limit on things.
Oh yeah, nice.
You need to.
Because I feel like having the label, like, constantly, like, putting yourself, like, okay, it needs to be done then, it creates more stress, more added stress on top of an already stressed situation.
Yeah, your own worst enemy. So, yeah. Going in bed, 3 years ago, and it was all black room, and someone said, "Yeah, but 3 years ago." Okay. So, but I used to go, it got me to do a thing once. It was like 6 month immediate goals, like next week, like a 6 month thing, and then 12 months. And I listed them all, but don't get so caught up in reaching those by a certain time. And that sort of was a good exercise because I was doing that for a long time.
That's cool. Yeah, you seem a lot more relaxed these days. You're still driven, but you're more in flow is probably the word to say.
Yeah, I think I have to be, because I think the longer you sort of go on with it, you sort of you believe, even with the dips, more actually. Yeah, but you start to know your body better. You start to know, I can overcome this, I can beat this because I've beaten those things before. People think because you have ups and downs that you will waver in your belief. It's like, no, it strengthens. I just keep beating things, and I'm just going to keep doing it. Watch me.
You there, Jay? I think that the connection seems to be dropping in and out. Maybe just ask if you're there. Maybe just ask your family if they can disconnect from the Wi-Fi, just so it's stronger.
Oh, goodness.
Impromptu.
That's all good.
But yeah, it sounds better. Yeah.
Sweet. I'm going to stand in the garage.
Because what Jamie said is just so true. Like, obviously, getting the right friends around you, letting go of the ones that don't serve you, being committed but not time framed in the sense of putting a time frame and a label on where you should be at a certain time, relaxing into it a little bit more, getting help when you need to, trusting people who have been through the same path, not following them in the sense of doing exactly what they did, but doing exactly what you need to do for yourself. And then just trusting the process, and learning. One of the big things that you keep talking about without even probably realizing it is that you keep talking about every time you have a setback, it's a learning lesson.
Yeah, it is. Because I don't know if it cut out, but I was saying that people think when they have the dips and the ups and downs, sorry if I'm repeating it for people who did hear or if it didn't cut out. People think, oh, no, that's doubt seeping. And it's like, no, it's not. I just keep beating things. It's like, like when it's a dip, it's like, cool, I beat that. And the second dip, cool, I beat that. So when there's going to be dips. People without illness have dips in their days and their weeks. I can beat it because I keep beating things. So it's like your belief actually grows. A snowball effect. You get bigger and bigger and you get better at playing chess. It's just the way I think, because your bag of tricks gets bigger because you experience more things. I know that it's not a popular belief, and I get that some people are probably where I was, where they're in that bed and it's pitch black, and their eyes are probably hurting watching the screen. But I could tell you, you'll get a win and you'll feel good from that win, and just suck it all in, take it all in, and then go, cool, it's going to springboard me to the next win, and the next win, and the next win, and then I'm just going to keep having wins. Eventually you get this belief, because it's just like, cool, I've met this challenge before, cool, I know what to do here. It's bigger and bigger and bigger. It keeps getting bigger. Don't let doubt seep in. Fuck what others think. Just keep doing what you know works. At the end of the day, I don't care about medical professions or anything like that. You'll know your body better than anyone else ever will. It's yours. You live in it. It's your vessel.
True that.
I just feel that losses are sometimes wins because you just spin them. It's just my take.
It's so good.
That
It's
was
the
a
best.
book.
But like, yeah, because like, what about people who care about what others think, and what about those people who are like worried about, they keep freaking about it. They're worried about the next setback. Like, I think you kind of just said it anyway, but like, yeah, you go.
No, keep going. I care what people think to this day. You just got to. It's hard not to. I get it, because it's like I used to for the longest time, because I'm 26 now, and I think at the age of like 25, I wasn't working still. I think I just started studying again. So I was thinking every family event, oh cool, it's like, the guy doing nothing with his life, and it's like, oh yeah, he's just tired all the time. It's like he must party too much and not sleep, and it's just like it's sort of like this like anxiousness, like, oh god, they're all going to think less of me, they're all going to think this thing of me that's not true. Just stick to your roadmap, because just know that it's going to get you there, and it doesn't matter about time frames, and it doesn't matter what people think, and it's, even though we'll seep in at times, that's just human nature. It's hard not to. It's just sometimes people will just say it's just like it's like I don't even know how that you come to that conclusion with that, and that sort of helps you not care what people think, because you just think, if someone with that intelligence level thinks that, I could not care less what they think about anything, because if they think that it's in my head, well, yeah, I'm making it up. I really couldn't give a shit about any of their opinions on anything.
Dude, where would you be without a roadmap?
Probably going in the highest gear my body was capable of, but in a circle. I'd just be working really hard thinking that's what you got to do. And I would be getting I'd be running my body ragged. I'd be in a hospital or in a wheelchair or something. I wouldn't, because the drive never leaves. That's the one thing people would that you have to have had a drive, because you got here because you had a drive. So it's still there. So I still have a drive, but it's just like,
yeah, I remember,
guided.
Yeah, that's right. Because you had this like, you thought you had to push yourself all the time, and like what you're saying is just friggin' amazing and so spot on. But like, people don't realize the effort and the energy and the time that you put into the program and yourself and actually getting there. And some people don't even realize you did an actual program to get there. But like, let's say if you didn't have the program, if you didn't get the coaching, if you didn't have the support from the inner circle, when I know you used it a lot in those times when you needed it, not so much anymore, because you've moved on with life and you're starting to kick ass in different areas of your life. But like, how valuable was that for you in terms of like getting you to where you're at today?
It's immense, because it's like, because like your drive will tell you. Sorry, I've got another analogy. So your drive will tell you there's a treasure hidden on this island, and you've got to find it. Without a map, like, what's the point? Like, you're digging holes everywhere. You just got to look in every location. That's very tiring. You're probably not going to be able to do it. So when you have a roadmap, it's like having a treasure map. I know exactly where it is. I know how many steps I need to take to get there. I know sometimes there might be something in the way that I have to walk around that map, or I have to walk over that rock or whatever. But I know where the treasure is. And treasure is like your recovery, for the analogy purposes. So yeah, like without the program, because the program, like your modules was almost like a school course. It was cool. And it's like, sort of not, I want to say like retrained. I always think chronic fatigue is playing chess. And it was almost like, this will teach you how to play chess. It's like, if you don't know how to play chess, you don't know what the pieces move. You don't know what they're supposed to do. So you're making the wrong move almost every time. You're just going to keep losing that chess match, and that's just another setback. The drive's not disappearing. You're just going to keep playing. You're just going to keep losing. So without the program, because I use the program to get to, I like to break things up. So it's not like get to recovery. It's like, no. What's your first step? So my first step is like, cool, you got the program. Finish the program. Cool. Finish the program. Okay, now what do I do? Cool. Go and see Toby. Sweet. You give me exercise. It's like, do 5 wall push-ups. Cool. Just do them. Do those. They're the best 5 fucking wall push-ups you could ever do in your life. Just that's your goal. It's not, when will I do real push-ups? Doesn't matter about weights. Just do this to the best of your ability. Kill this. Be the best wall push-up person on the planet, and then go to the next one. So it's just incremental steps. Instead of before the program, I'm thinking recovery. I've got to get there. It's like, no, just take it step by step.
Break down the steps. Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of shows you where to look, how to look, how to go about it. And then I think the second part of that question was the inner circle. That's really important because that's your community. And I've got friends from that now that I call life friends. Like they're going to be, sorry guys, I'm not letting you go. Like where Cat's just walked in. But they're really special people to me. They get it. Like it's a whole community. It's like literally you can go onto this group chat and everyone knows what you're going through. They're all going through it. And you help each other and you share each other's wins. Like I was saying a few months back, I had because of emotional sort of time was just not doing as well as I would have hoped with emotionally. And I used to go on the thing on the inner circle and just look at wins. Because I remember you said it was like the tall poppy syndrome when we first sort of met. It's like you get sort of energy from other people winning. Because like you can be a competitive person. I'm really competitive, but I'm competitive with me, not with.
Yeah.
Like
you want to see others succeed as well. That's what it's about.
Yeah, like if Cat's listening, it's not like, oh, Cat did this, now I got to go for a run. It's like, oh, no, I want Cat to kill it. I also want me to kill it. I don't care who does it first or who does it better. That's what I'm supposed to win. So it's just you sort of get fuel from that. Like, yeah.
Positive energy, positive your focus and moving you forwards in the right direction. What's life like for you now, dude? Like, the bloke who's working 40 hours a week, you're studying health and nutrition and naturopathy, naturopathy.
That's it. You got it.
Naturopathy. And I think you might even have a job with us eventually in terms of doing some stuff. I hope, because you're a driven man, and I think you've got a work to do. What's it like?
Exciting. That's probably the first thing I'd say. I'm very excited because there's a bit of pride. You think, oh, there's a fair amount that's going on. You get a little bit nervous. It's like, oh, I'm doing the course again. Like, oh, but it's like an excited nervous. It's like
good, yeah. And that's what I want to talk about because I think a lot of people think that life is just perfect and you just feel good all the time. But it's just important. The reason why I say this, it's called appropriate nervousness. It's appropriate that you feel overwhelmed, but in an excited way. You're doing so much, you're proud, but also, you still go through shit. But the cool thing is it's life shit. It's not CFS shit and fibromyalgia shit. It's life stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It's spot on. The life would be pretty boring if you didn't have nerves or fears or everything went smoothly. It's like, cool, what's the challenge? But it's like, when you do it, it's like that feels so much better because there was a difficulty aspect to it. If there was no difficulty, it's cool.
True.
I was expected to do that. When it's a little bit difficult, that's why when you beat CFS or people who beat CFS, I still have the odd day, so I'm not fully overcome of it, but I feel like I'm winning the fight. I've got him on the ropes. You feel proud about it because of how difficult it was. Like you'd have that pride. Ray would have that pride. Everyone who's made any steps into chronic fatigue would have that pride. Because it wasn't like, oh, cool, this is handed to you. Here's recovery on a silver spoon. Geez, I worked my ass off for that. So that's where the pride comes from. If I had one sort of word, it'd probably be excitement. Yeah, there's nerves attached to it, but mostly excitement.
All right, so let's round this up because, like I said, now we could probably do 2 hours, but we've got to remember the people who are watching this probably finding it hard. Hopefully, there's a few recovered people, but there's a lot of people who are watching for hope and inspiration and knowledge and wisdom, and hopefully, you guys have been watching, who've been taking notes because this shit is like gold right here. And I think one of the key things, there's a lot of people who watch this and just like they're in a setback and they're just like giving up. It's just like, don't give up, but also just don't make it such a big deal. Like that's what you're kind of saying, right?
Yeah, well, it's not the end of the world. It's just cool. There's a broken bridge, but I'm sure there's a path around it. There is. There's a path around it. There is always a way. Just think that. And that's a good point. I probably forgot. Like, yeah, to people listening, and I appreciate it. It's really cool. I'm really shy, but that's really good. Yeah, I'm more than happy to. It's not like. I don't understand. It's not like an arrogant thing. I'm not above helping. Jesus Christ, come talk to me. If you're having a bad day, fuck. I talked to enough people when I had mine. I need the crap out of you on rail. I'm more than happy to. I want it. It's the field I'm going into. Come talk to me. Vent.
Don't vent. Just ask questions that are helpful, right?
Well, yeah, be constructive.
Exactly. Because that's the key. Is like so many people like complain about the situation, but don't actually do anything about it. Whereas like the key thing about you, Jamie, is that you always came to find out something more. You never came just to say how you felt or how shit you felt. You were like, this is what's going on. Like, tell me what I can do to go around this. Like, shine some light on my situation so I can move forwards.
Yeah, have the appropriate amount of curiosity when it comes to this.
Bang.
Be excited about it. Learn how to beat it. Don't just go, I've got to beat it. Take enjoyment out of it.
Exactly.
How do I do it?
All right, let's round this up. So I want to ask you a couple of questions that are really key for the listeners out there. So, knowing what you know now, and the amazing achievements that you've all done along this whole journey, getting back to work, getting into different relationships, studying again, traveling to the city, flying around, living, like fully living. What would you tell yourself? Knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself back then when it was completely dark, man? Because people don't realize how bad it was for you, and just for people who didn't watch the start of this interview, turn off the lights, keep it completely dark for months on end. That's what you were kind of living through. What would you tell yourself knowing what you know now?
Slow down. Not your body, because that already is. Slow your mind down. Because it races, because you panic, like we'll talk about earlier. And people weren't listening, we're just saying that it's like things are being stolen from you and you panic about it. Just take your time with it. It's gonna happen. You're gonna beat it. It'll happen. You just gotta. There's no end date. There's no rush. And I get people have lives and commitments. Like some people have kids with this, and Jesus Christ, go wear a cape. That's what you should be doing. Just take it slow as you can. Like your mind, just break it down, little steps. So if I walked into my room now and me 3 years was in that bed, I'd just say, just relax, just slow your mind. Just don't think about all the things you're missing out on. Just think, what can I do next? Jesus, man, my victories were walking to. I remember when I got to the kettle, in the kitchen. I'm not kidding. It was like an achievement for a week. I was like, your legs don't move. Well, they weren't moving. I just be patient. Just take your time. It's gonna happen. You'll get there. That'll be the first thing.
And nicely said. I think that's actually a real key, and I think that's probably why you've got to where you've got to. Really. Second thing I want to ask you is, there's a lot of people out there with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and they're told that there's nothing they can do about it. They don't know where to turn to. What would you say for someone who's looking at doing this program, joining the program that you join, but not being sure about it, and probably thinking, is it really worth my time and money, or should I just do it on my own? Because there's a lot of people who are out there.
My mum and dad financially helped me at that time, but I think more of their money was wasted at doctors and specialists who are like rheumatologists and stuff like that. Not saying they're all wrong, but with this, they went on the mark. I think that was way more expensive than your program cost. Like to start on that program, to do the online part of that program. And like that, I don't want to, if you're watching this, then you're already in the right spot. So you already know that this program exists. It's there. Like I actually found it on Facebook. It popped up as a suggested thing like a few years back. And I just, put my details in because it was like limited spots at the time, and I thought, Why not? It's another thing I could try. It ended up being the fucking best thing that I tried. So, yeah, I'd say all for it. Go for it. Do it. Like I can't speak highly enough of it. That's what it's your map. That's your map. If you know there's treasure around, that's recovery. But that's all well and good. Where's X? How you gonna find it? I still turn to you guys. I said before, I could talk to you about most things now. Still ask me questions.
Yeah. And I think also, like, it's not the program and everything that we teach is not just about CFS or fibromyalgia. It's about life, like it's about life and living and going through that as well. Because, I think there's a bit of an illusion out there that life's beautiful and smooth sailing once you recover. But it just gets a bit more colourful. That's all.
That's a very good way of putting it. More doors open, don't they?
More doors open. There's a lot of shit. When there's a lot more doors open, there's a lot more things coming.
It's not all doorways you're walking through. Something's coming back the other way sometimes. So it's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, it is. It's more colourful. I like that.
And what's plans for next for the next Jamie to progress to?
Well, I still, because you held me to it, and I'm holding me to it, I still want to become as fit as an AFL footballer. So that's still that's on the cards for me. Obviously, to finish this course and do a very similar thing to what you and Ray are doing, but that's the end goal with all of this. But I used to think about that and get stressed. Now I just think, just finish your first year of uni or your first semester. Just take your baby steps towards it. So, but like if you're talking like distant future, I want to help people with 2050. I made my mind up with that after our first chat. I was like, cool, on to this. Something I get.
Man, you've got such a bright future, dude, and I'm sure everyone who has watched this is just like, holy shit, this guy's just like, there's something about you that is like this aura about you, and you've just got such great wisdom and analogies, and the confidence that comes across is just awesome, dude. And it's been awesome to watch you, man, because I remember that little boy that came in. He was frail, he was exhausted, he was scared shitless, and he was quiet. You were not even half the person that you are today, and it is just a remarkable story. Man, you're just living life, dude. Like, it's just makes me want to cry. Like, this is amazing to see. I don't care about any of your success or anything that you do in the future. Like, who you are as a person is just so special, and I think that's the biggest success of it all. And whatever you're going to achieve, that's just like icing on the cake.
Thanks, man. I probably wouldn't have been able to get to that point without you. So, it's like a mentorship. Thanks for being proud. Thanks for teaching me.
Yeah, no, mate, it's been a pleasure. And yeah, have you got any last wisdom, last words for people out there who it'd
probably be the exact same. Yeah, probably the exact same thing I'd give if you told me like I'd give myself advice from 3 years ago. It's literally take it slow. Because your body's already giving, it's holding up a neon sign saying, hey, slow down, because that's the symptoms of CFS. Just listen to it. I certainly didn't for a long time. So I get that. Yeah, that's easier said than done. I understand that. Just slow your mind. Just break it up. Because if you look at something like I get assignments sometimes and I go, oh my God, I got to finish all this. Cool, just do the first part. But just do what's the nearest thing that you can reach that is part of your journey to recovery. If that's get out of bed and go brush your teeth, trust me, I get it. That's cool. Do that. And tick it off as a win. In your head, celebrate that. Be proud. Don't compare to other people's stuff. If you see other people winning at life, or even if they don't have chronic fatigue or whatever, like they've reached a new max deadlift or whatever, it doesn't matter. Your walk to the bathroom to brush your teeth that's your win. Hold that. Don't let anyone shoot it down. Keep that in your heart, keep that in your head, and don't let anything penetrate that fortress, because that's your nearest point. And then your next one might be to go to the kitchen and make a cup of tea. Cool, do that, and then just focus on the next one. So just break it down, take it slow, and don't compare to anyone else. You're beating you, not them.
Mm. And I think, and it makes it so true. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, even your old self or your new self. Just focus on where you're at. But also, there's a time and place for progressing as well. And like that's what that's what you've done over a period of time. And obviously through coaching, getting the coaching calls, and the program is just those steps to progression. Then manage, progress, sustain, progress, sustain, progress, sustain. And in between all that, you've had all those learning lessons from, from overdoing it and pushing yourself, and, lots of, stress and life shit thrown your way. But you just keep rising, So it's, yeah, man, like awesome. If anyone's just watched this entire interview, go and watch it again and watch it for the third time, because like you'll learn more things as you rewatch this video, because there's just so much content and gold in here that like Jamie's just given you literally a fair bit of the map in terms of helping yourself get there. Now it's important to individualize that for yourself and make it your own process and move forwards, and literally do not hesitate to reach out to this page, and also send us an email or go to the website, cfshealth.com. And if you like Jamie and you've seen, the program flash up on Facebook or via email or anything, and you feel like, it's something that will be useful for you, then just reach out, because Jamie and our friendship is just unbelievable. And if it wasn't for him applying for the program and doing it, and then not only the fact that him and I get along so well and we get to have good chats, but the fact that he's actually changed his life is just friggin' awesome. And like I said before, the person this man has become is something that you just can't put a price tag on. You can't, like the type of caliber this guy is in terms of the person is just huge, and it's from everything that he's gone through to get to where he is today. So, if you're sitting there and you're feeling a half the shell of who you were, or you're feeling completely stuck and isolated, you've got no help, it's time to reach out and get the help and support, just like Jamie did, and his lovely mum Deb and your family, and just get on with it, because look at this guy, like you can see it in his face, like he's filled into his body and in his soul and into himself, and it's possible for anybody, because I got to hang out with Jamie face to face for many years. Really, I saw you in and out for a couple of years, and I can tell you from where he was to where he is now is man, I'd almost say close to 100% improvement.
Yeah, I feel yeah, great, yeah.
Very close, in
very
terms
close,
of percentage, it's amazing. So. Yeah, if anything's possible, really, is like the closing statement I'll leave anyone with, just from your interview.
Yeah, I'm happy. If you're happy with that.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining, man. I'm sure so many people will appreciate this. And if you did enjoy this interview, just leave below what you enjoyed about it, and maybe leave a thank you comment for Jamie, because it's just it's awesome to have people like you on the call, and sharing your wisdom and advice along the way. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me on, man.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll speak to you soon, guys. Thanks heaps.
See ya.
Cheers.